I'm Richard Clarke. I record these talks every day as a way to deepen my inquiry. Listen each day and deepen your own practice. Welcome. I'm reviewing and commenting on the book Talks with Sri Ramana Maharshi. Today is from Talk 618, Part 3. Questioner. Doubts are always arising. Hence my question. Maharshi. A doubt arises and is cleared. Another arises and that is cleared, making way for another. And so it goes on. So there is no possibility of clearing away all doubts. See to whom the doubts arise. Go to their source and abide in it. Then they will cease to arise. That is how doubts are to be cleared. Atma, samstham, manah, krtva, kinchidapi, chintayet. Questioner, grace alone can help me to it. Maharshi, grace is not exterior. In fact, your very desire for grace is due to the grace that is already in you. Doubts come and go endlessly. As soon as one is resolved, another takes its place, keeping in the mind in a state of constant questioning. Sri Ramana Maharshi points out that this cycle has no natural end. There will always be another doubt. Instead of trying to resolve each one individually, he directs the questioner to look at the root of all doubts, the one to whom they arise. This is the foundation of self-inquiry. Instead of getting caught up in the endless stream of thoughts, you turn inward and ask, who is it that has these doubts? By tracing them back to their source, you reach the self, where no doubts can exist. The Sanskrit verse Maharshi quotes from the Bhagavad Gita reinforces this point. It means, having fixed the mind in the self, let there be no thoughts. This does not mean forcibly stopping thoughts, but rather settling so deeply in the awareness of the self that thoughts lose their hold. Doubts are only troubling when they are believed to belong to an individual self. When the sense of being a separate individual dissolves, the very basis for doubt disappears. The questioner, feeling the difficulty of this practice, says that only grace can help. Maharshi's response corrects a common misunderstanding. Grace is not something external that must be acquired. The very longing for grace, the very impulse to turn inward is itself grace in action. It is not separate from you. It arises from within. If grace were something distant, beyond reach, you would never feel the pull towards truth. But because it is already present, it draws you towards the recognition of the self. This dialogue touches on a key point in Ramana Maharshi's teachings. Doubts are not resolved by answering them one by one, but by seeing through the illusion of the doubter. Instead of treating grace as something to be obtained, recognize that the search itself is already evidence of grace at work. By turning inward and resting in the source of all thoughts, doubts naturally dissolve, leaving only the peace of the self. So know yourself and be always free and at peace. In 40 Verses on Reality, Ramana Maharshi explains the nature of the self, the ultimate reality, and self-inquiry. My new book, with my comments and inquiry questions, opens these teachings up and brings them into your practice and experience. Available now from Amazon. Link in the video description. These videos bring Ramana's teachings into your direct experience. Click subscribe to see more. Click thumbs up to like, and send questions and start a dialogue with a comment.